Hello everyone and welcome back. So in the previous video we have learned how to create a full WebRTC client, and in this video we are going to create our main repository to be a parent of our two clients and use our socket and WebRTC client. So this class is going to be injectable and we'll have a constructor and we will inject our socket client and the WebRTC client and also my JSON objects. So first thing to do is our init function, which will get a username of type string. In this function, first we set the username of the class equal to username that is derived from this function. So let's create our private latent var of username, and also let's create our target username. And after that I want to call two function init socket and init WebRTC client, just like that. So let's create these two function, private fun init socket and also private fun init WebRTC client. So inside my init socket, first I wanna set the listener to this class. So we will observe the new events from our socket client, and then I wanna init using my username that is derived from this init block. And inside my WebRTC clients function, I'll set the listeners. The listener is equal to this. I'll just import the override function and also the receiver set to this class and implement the override function from the WebRTC client. And after that we will initialize using our username. And for peer connection observer, I'll use an anonymous class and extends from my peer observer and do it like this. But here I'll override two methods on ice candidate and on data channel and on connection change. Actually this one is useless, since we receive a data channel we realize that hey, there's a connection state changed. So just these two override methods, and right here when our RTC client or our WebRTC clients generated an ice candidate, first we want to check if it's not null, then we want to send ice candidate to the other peer like this, send ice candidate, and pass it to it. And for target, I'll use these targets that I'll receive from call or answer events. Let's go back here, and on data channel, first I want to store this data channel that is derived from this override method. So let's go back up here and create a private, let's call it data channel, private, var data channel of type data channel, and it's going to be null initially. So right here let's initialize this like that. Okay, so right now let's create our negotiation functions. The first one is called send start connection function, which will receive a target of type string, set the username, or sorry, the target using this function, just like that. And after that we want to use the socket client and send message to socket, create a data model. The type of it is going to be start connection. The username is going to be our username. The target is going to be target of the function, and the data is going to be no. The next function is when we receive this start connection and decide to accept the call from the notification that hey, there's a call or there's a connection request, then we send back a start call event or a call event to the WebRTC client. To do that, let's create start call function, and it's going to need a target. So using WebRTC and call function, we'll just handle it like this. So these are two negotiation functions that will start the connection status. Right now we have to handle the type that is going to receive from our WebSocket clients, and let's use the when statement and check the types of the model and import everything. Let's use it at else block. Will do nothing. We just need start connection, offer answer, and ice candidate. So whenever we receive start connection, we want to notify our UI that hey, there is a connection request. So in this situation, we can simply store the target as the receiving username like this. So the sender username is going to be our target. So we store the username. And in case of receiving an offer, we want to use our WebRTC client and say that hey, there is a receiving offer, so you have to set the session description to your peer connection. So using on remote session received, we will create a session description object. The type of it is going to be session description type offer, and the data or STP is going to be model.data to string. And after that, we want to store the target again, so we don't want to miss it at any case like this. And then we want to answer the call using WebRTC client and pass the target to it. And in case of receiving answer, we just simply set the remote description to our peer connection using this function called on remote session received, and creates a session description object of type answer, and the data is going to be model.data to a string, just like that. And in case of receiving ice candidates, first we wanna try to deserialize our object that we just converted to a JSON object, while candidate is going to be a try catch block like this. And in case of any exception, we just want to print the error and return null. But if it's not an exception, I just want to use the JSON from JSON object and pass the model.data to string, and as the data class, I'll just pass the ice candidate of WebRTC class like this. And after that, I'll check if the candidate is not null, then we want to add it to our peer connection since it's a remote ice candidate. So using this function, I'll just add this to my peer connection. Okay, so there's one more thing left, is that we create a listener for this class to notify the UI that hey, there's something is going on. The first function that is going to have is on connection request received, and it will have a target of type string. The other one is going to be on data channel received, which is the status of our peer connection for now. It means that when we receive a data channel, so we are ready to communicate. And the last one is going to be on data received from channel, and it will have the data channel dot buffer, just like that. So let's go back up here. First, let's create a var object of listener. What's going on here? Sorry, I just named it listener, just like that. It's going to be now initially. So right here, I wanna notify the subscriber that hey, there's a new data channel received, just like that. And here, when we receive and start connection event, I'll also use the listener that hey, there is on connection request received, and the target is going to be model.username, and the last one is when receive a buffer from our data channel observer. As you can see, when we receive it here, we want to pass it to the subscriber. So let's use listener and use onData received from channel and pass it to it. And in case of receiving an event from this onTransfer event socket from our WebRTC client, we just want to pass it to our WebSocket client. So using socket client, send message to socket and pass the data to it. Okay, so for now we are good to go using our main repository. Let's move to the next video to set up our main activity and use this main repository to start a connection between two peers, and then add the transferring logic to our main repository later. So that's it for this video. Till the next video, see you everyone.